guys, ClipNote.com, and of course, the House of Biceps. I am here at the House of Biceps answering your questions. I had a question that came in the other day from John. John is running a pretty heavy-duty competition strength cycle, high androgens, high anabolics, high everything going into his big meet. This is a meet that counts. He's also been using for a long period of time. John wants to know, should I be using blood pressure and cholesterol medications? All right, John, come in a little bit closer. The first thing you need to do is go see your doctor and talk to your doctor. And if your doctor won't listen, find a new doctor. Find someone who will listen for your safety. I am not the guy. I am not a doctor. All I can do is give you just a little bit of free advice. All right, you can back out. That's way too close. So, John, we have to look at the side effects of anabolics and androgenic use. And we see the small things, the stuff that we read about online that everybody just considers common knowledge. You know, the chance of getting gyno, testicular atrophy. We talk about sterility, although in quite honestness, I really haven't met anyone who's become sterile from long-term use unless they began when they were like teenagers. And still, most of those guys can be brought back. Now, I did get into a discussion the other day with an actual doctor, and the doctor pointed out the increased risk of cancer, especially in men. And what they're looking at here is the increase in risk of prostate cancer. I think when we look at the facts, and this is something that is possible, but we're looking at an extremely small percentile of people. And those individuals, you know, and there's no major studies on this. So it's really hard to give tons of facts from either side. You can't really present facts and you can't really argue either way. But what we see most of the time is that for the people who end up developing any kind of prostate cancer, they were pretty much predispositioned to it in the first place. So get your PSA tested. The two things that are real, serious threats to people who use long-term anabolic and androgenic steroids are kidney disease and cardiac disease. So let's start at kidney disease. Now, you can't absolutely 100% say that you can prevent it. You still, again, look at the number of people who were going to get it anyway, and that's a small population in the lifting community. And then you add something that could possibly accelerate that. How did they accelerate it? Chances are they accelerated it through long-term high blood pressure. So you can control the blood pressure. If you have high blood pressure, it will show up high when you go see your doctor, and at least discuss options with your doctor. Because there is a chance that if you were going to be using something which causes high blood pressure long term, that if you could lower that blood pressure, you could possibly preserve your kidneys. And the other real concern is heart disease. We're looking at big changes in cholesterol numbers, lowering the good cholesterol, increasing the bad cholesterol, all numbers going sky high. Now, there's a lot of information out there that tells us that your cholesterol readings is an exact look into your risk for heart disease, for heart attack, for stroke. And then there's all this information that kind of comes about where people say it's not really an indicator. What I will say is that if you go to the doctor and your cholesterol is really high, and he tells you to change your diet and exercise, and you do change your diet and your exercise habits, and you go back 3 or 6 months later and your cholesterol is still really high, he's probably going to put you on a cholesterol medication. Good thing, bad thing? Once again, this is something you have to discuss with your doctor. Maybe your doctor has other options for reducing or improving your blood lipid profile. but chances are they're going to give you a statin of some sort. So my basic advice to you, and I've got 2 pieces of advice that I've already given you. 1, go see your doctor and be honest, at least as honest as you can. If you go and have a couple of different tests done, chances are they're going to put you on these medications anyway, or at least they're going to suggest them to you. And number 2, in my opinion, if you're going to do something long term, which is very possibly going to affect your kidneys as well as your cardiovascular system, then you need to take every precaution necessary. Whether that's an extra hour and a half per week on the treadmill, improving your cardio, whether that means you're eating more fish, whether it means you're increasing your omega-3s, if that even works, we don't know. And number 2, strictly my opinion, is that if you're going to do something long term, which is going to quite possibly have a negative effect on your kidney system and your cardiovascular system, something has to be changed. Maybe that means an extra hour, hour and a half of cardio every week. Maybe that means eating more fish, increasing your omega-3s, adding some niacin, different B vitamins, drinking more water, getting more blood tests, being more intelligent, or taking a blood pressure and cholesterol medication. You have to think long term here. You have to think intelligently, and you have to be proactive. So my advice to you, should you take a blood pressure and cholesterol medication, you should go see your doctor. And chances are, he's going to put you on a cholesterol and blood pressure medication.